You're listening to the Get Out of Your Own Damn Way podcast, episode number 119.
So you think you're motivated. You've defined what you want. You've figured out why. You've tapped into your desire and you've committed to your decision. But there's still one more thing you got to do, and it all comes down to this. What is it? Are you sure you're ready? Okay, here we go. Quiet on set. Lights, camera, action. Welcome to the Get Out of Your Own Damn Way podcast. I'm your host, Krylyn Peters. Each week, I bring you inspiring messages to help you create the life you're meant to lead. Buckle up, buttercups. Hey, Fear Busters, welcome to the episode. We are diving into the last of my 4-step model for motivation today. So if you have missed any of the episodes where I talk about my model or step 1 or step 2 or step 3, you have got to go listen to those because this episode will make a hell of a lot more sense if you do. So head on over to my website at Krylyn.com. That's KRYLYN.com. And listen to episodes 115, 116, 117, and 118. Yeah, it's a lot of episodes to listen to, but they're not too long, so I think you'll be fine. So in the format, if you don't already know, for finding my podcast episodes on my website is Krylyn.com/the episode number. So Krylyn.com/115, Krylyn.com/116, 117, 118. You get the picture. And also just a quick reminder, if you want the handout for today's episode 119, head on over to Krylyn.com/119 to get that. And I will always give you a little bit extra tips in those handouts. So be sure to download those if you wanna. Okay, so today is all about step 4. And that is the action. Okay, we've got to take action. So I've said this once, I've said it twice, I've probably said it a million times, and I'll probably say it a million more. But you cannot move through any kind of a change without taking action. You can have your why, you can have your desire, you can even make a decision, but those are not exact actions. Those are things that lead up to the action. But if you do those and don't take action, you are not going to get where you want to go. So action is crucial to the process of staying motivated. Well, first getting motivated, then staying motivated and making those changes that I know you really want to make in your life. So are you ready? Because we've got 3 ingredients that I'm going to go over today to help you with successful action. Okay. And I put successful in there for a reason. And we're going to talk about that with ingredient number 3. But let's start with ingredient number 1. And that is consistency. Okay. I've heard about this, right? So being consistent with your action. You've got to be consistent. What does that mean exactly? It means doing the same thing, right? So you don't just try something once and then forget about it. You got to keep doing it because you're not going to be perfect at something, well, ever, but certainly not the first time that you do it. You've got to give it a certain period of time to work before abandoning it, okay? Plus, if you already know what actions work to get somewhere, then you gotta be consistent with it. You have to. There's no way around it. You have to do it. No excuses. So that's ingredient number 1 when it comes to successful action. Ingredient number 2 is persistence. And persistence means that you keep going no matter what. Okay? So having gone through so many things in your life already, that challenges come up, obstacles rear their heads, and life happens, okay? This whole idea of motivation means that you keep going, you're persistent, you keep going even in the face of challenge. So that's what it means. So you just got to keep going. You got to be consistent with your action, and you have to persist. Keep moving even when it's hard, even when you don't want to. Okay, and this is where I talked about resources a few episodes ago, and I will put a link to that in the show notes on my website and also in today's handout, so that you can go back and listen to that. But that's where the resources that you identified in that episode are really going to come in handy, is knowing what's going to help support you as you're moving through change and when it's getting really hard. Okay, so that's ingredient number 2. Ingredient number 3 is direction. This is why I added successful into this list here. Okay, so the 3 ingredients to successful action. Because how many times do you do stuff where you are like busy all the time, but you don't seem to be getting anything done? I cannot be the only one who sits around spinning my wheels, where I'm like super busy, but then I'm really tired at the end of the day. I feel fried. And yet I look back and I'm like, what the hell did I get done today? And then I look back and I'm like, oh, well, I checked a lot of emails that really didn't mean anything to the project I'm currently working on. I spent a lot of time on Facebook reading posts that have nothing to do with my current projects. So that's the time wasters. So we can be doing a lot of actions that are not moving us toward our goals. So when I say direction in terms of successful action, so successful action means that you are successfully working towards your goal. That means that you have to be focused in the right direction. Okay. So that means taking action that is complementing, that is geared toward what you want, what your goal is. It's not wasting the time on Facebook. It's not doing meaningless tasks. Now, I'm going to stop myself here because I do have a caveat. So sometimes you need a break, okay? You need a break from all the action that you are doing towards your goal. And that's fine. Actually, that you have to have the break. You have to take care of yourself. I've talked a lot about self-care, and I will continue to talk about self-care. You've got to take breaks. And in those breaks, waste your time on Facebook. If that's how you want to spend your break, if that's helping recharge you, this is the thing, is when you are taking a break, you want to do things that recharge your batteries, not drain them. Okay? So that's what you've got to look at. But when you're talking about taking action in terms of successful action towards a goal, so this ingredient of action in the model of motivation, I want you to take directed action. So things that are moving you toward your goal. Okay? That doesn't mean that you're working 24/7 towards your goal. But when you are working toward your goal, you're taking action that is moving you towards your goal. Okay? That's what I'm saying. When you take a break, take action that is recharging your batteries. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So absolutely take your action. Oh my gosh, we got through it. We got through the 4 steps of my model of motivation. This is step 4, action. And you know what? I wasn't quite done with motivation. I'm not. I still have a little bit more to say about it. So you're going to have to stay tuned for next week's episode, where I'm going to talk about some specific tips to keep you motivated, because I know I've talked a lot about it over the last 5 episodes, but I still have a little bit more to say, because we can get really bogged down, and it is time to remind you of some successful tips to help you keep motivated as you're moving through change. So I will catch you on next week's episode, where we're going to wrap all of this motivation stuff up. Catch you then.
Thanks for listening to the Get Out of Your Own Damn Way podcast. If you've been inspired, please share the podcast with your friends. You can find us on iTunes or at Krylyn.com. KRYLYN.com.